AI agents are everywhere, automating tasks and making decisions at machine speed. But agents make mistakes. Just one rogue agent can do big damage before you even notice. Rubrik Agent Cloud is the only platform that helps you monitor agents, set guardrails, and rewind mistakes, so you can unleash agents, not risk. Accelerate your AI transformation at Rubrik.com. That's RUBRIK.com.
If you're a maintenance supervisor for a commercial property, you've had to deal with everything from leaky faucets to flickering light bulbs. But nothing's worse than that ancient boiler that's lived in the building since the day it was built, 50 years ago. It's enough to make anyone lose their cool. That's where Grainger comes in. With industrial-grade products and dependable fast delivery, Grainger can help with any challenge, from worn-out components to everyday necessities. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
O'Reilly. Check engine, ABS, or maintenance light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. The service is free and provides a report with solutions verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we could recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Looking for these better days.
It is Monday, December 8th. I'm Scott Seidenberg. Here's what you need to know to make today a better day. The chances of the Kansas City Chiefs making the playoffs have taken a significant blow after they fall on Sunday Night Football last night. We recap an exciting Sunday, Week 14 in the NFL, and the college football playoff rankings have come out. The matchups are set for the first round. Mackenzie Rivers joins me on this episode of Better Day, presented by FanDuel. And let's just get this out of the way, Mackenzie, because I had a couple of tweets that went viral yesterday. I mean, I'm still getting the alerts because people are still replying to the tweets. I am done arguing about the college football playoff rankings. It is over with. It is done with. There is nothing more that I can argue. The college football playoff is set. And so here is your college football playoff bracket. In the first round, we will have the 12-5 matchup. You know, 12 always beats a 5, right? James Madison against Oregon. We have the 11-6 matchup, Tulane against Ole Miss. We have the 8-9 matchup, Oklahoma and Alabama. And the 10-7 matchup, Miami and Texas A&M, with the byes given to Texas Tech, Indiana, Georgia, and Ohio State. Yes, Notre Dame did not make the college football playoff field. I am done arguing. I spent all day yesterday arguing. I am now going to focus my attention on making money betting these playoff games, Mackenzie.
You don't want to recap the argument? You don't even want to give homage to something that you felt so passionately about that took you viral?
It's just as simple as this, okay? And I'm going to make a couple of statements, and that's it. I'm done arguing, like I said. It's just, to me, the committee contradicts themselves with every word that comes out of their mouth, okay? You cannot have it both ways. You cannot reward teams for winning conference championship games without punishing teams that lose conference championship games. You also cannot punish certain teams for losing conference championship games and not punish one team for losing conference championship games. Okay?
Is Alabama going to win it all just like Ohio State? Just like now that everyone hates them and thinks they should be out?
Here's some history, Mackenzie.
3 straight.
Here is some history. And I will give credit to Brad Powers tweeted this out yesterday. Okay? And I'll give him credit for this tweet because I thought it was remarkable. In the last 3 years, there have been 16 conference championship game losers that were ranked in the college football playoff top 25 rankings entering their conference championship games. Of the 16 losers, 15 of them dropped in the next rankings. Well, the only team that didn't, this year's Alabama team. This year's Alabama team. So the precedent has been set. They say, oh, don't get punished for losing a conference championship game. That's all you've been doing is punishing teams for losing conference championship games. Literally, 16 conference championship game losers, all of them, or 15, have been dropped in the next rankings. Alabama's the only team that wasn't. And I just feel like if you're telling us that the conference championship games don't matter, okay, then Ohio State should still be number 1 and Indiana's number 2 if we don't care about the results of that game, right? And then also BYU should be in the college football playoff.
How is Oklahoma in the I mean, aren't they like 9th in the SEC?
Oklahoma
What did I miss?
Oklahoma beat Alabama, by the way. So
how is every single SEC guy? I mean, come on.
Yeah, this is
every single one. Georgia, Ole Miss, Texas A&M, Alabama, Texas. Is Vanderbilt in it?
No,
they didn't sneak in. All right.
No, and Notre Dame decided to take their ball and go home. They will not participate in a bowl game this year. And you know something? I know a lot of people are like,
they should not play football in America.
Well, I know a lot of people are like,
15 years.
This is a hot take, okay, Mackenzie? I know a lot of people are like, well, Notre Dame's being a bunch of babies, right? Bunch of babies for not participating in a bowl game, right? Like, this is how they took their ball and they went home.
It's a natural take. It's a natural take.
You know, whiny babies. Well, here's what I say. We say this a lot when it comes to fan bases that are frustrated with ownership or decisions that are made for their favorite teams. And what do we say? How do you affect change? Because crying about it, calling your sports radio station and whining is not going to do anything. You want to affect change, don't go to the games, right? Stop buying the tickets, stop buying the jerseys, don't give them your money, and that's how you'll affect change. Well, Notre Dame is simply saying ESPN and the college football playoffs decided not to put us in. We are not going to give them money by participating in their bowl game to give them TV ratings and to give them more money. That's it. That's how they're deciding to protest.
You know, it kind of reminds me of the Harvard versus the government, without getting too deep into it. It's like, yeah, government matters a lot, but Harvard's very old and they matter a lot, and they don't necessarily need the government the way other, newer schools might. Notre Dame's brand is not going to take a hit not being in the playoff this year. They're one of the few, as Tony Kornheiser calls them, like the University of College Football in the United States. They're one of those brands. So, I mean, people selling Notre Dame mugs will have a little bit of a recession here coming up this winter, but they're going to be fine. So bold move by them. But
and listen,
one less game for them.
No one's going to agree on this. Like, I'm telling you, like, the tweets that I sent out, Mackenzie, when I say, like, viral, I mean, like, we're talking hundreds and thousands of impressions on these tweets, right? I feel like I'm a famous person now. But anyway, the mentions that I'm getting, it's half the people are defending Alabama, and half the people are, on my side saying that.
What is the defense about? They have 3 losses. 3 of them.
Well, a lot of people are defending Alabama, saying that, they beat Georgia in the regular season. They shouldn't have to beat them a second time to get into the playoff, right? And my whole point is, I'm okay with it. If you tell me that the 12 games is all that matters. Last week, Mackenzie, Notre Dame was ranked ahead of Miami.
Right.
That was based off 12 games. Everybody in the country played 12 games, right? Everybody in the country played 12 games. Notre Dame was ranked ahead of Miami. Now, a week later, Miami and Notre Dame didn't play an extra game. How does Miami get ranked ahead of Notre Dame now? How? You know how? Because the ACC champion is Duke and didn't get into the college football playoff. I'm telling you right now, and I believe this, you'll never be able to convince me otherwise. If Virginia won that game and Virginia wins the ACC, Notre Dame's in the college football playoff and Miami's not. But the fact that Duke won and the ACC was going to get shut out of the college football playoff, there's too much money involved with the conferences. They were never going to let that happen. Miami gets in. Now, in my opinion, Miami and Notre Dame should have both gotten in, and Alabama should have been out. But it's okay. I mean, again, I'm done arguing. Let's just focus our attention now on making money. Here are the current odds up on FanDuel to win the national championship, which, by the way, Notre Dame was the 4th favorite going into yesterday.
That's insane. Wow.
The 4th betting
Can you get a refund? Talk about like that. A player injury, you get a refund. It could be a refund.
I know, right? Like my ticket's just down the drain. Anyway, the 4th favorite to win the national championship. They don't even get in. So Ohio State's the favorite up on FanDuel at plus 220. Indiana plus 290 is your second favorite. Georgia plus 550 is your third favorite. And this is where I think it's interesting. Oregon, who does not have a bye. They have to play a first-round game. They are plus 800. Texas Tech with a bye is plus 900. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that Oregon is a 21-point favorite in their first-round game against James Madison.
Sure.
So it's essentially saying that they are in the second round already.
Is this an error on my screen? Indiana. Wow. Basketball school. 2 basketball schools up at the top there.
It is. It's certainly. It's a fun time, and we'll have fun watching the college football playoffs, which don't begin until December 19th. So think about the teams that have the byes that don't play until January 1st. It's December 7th, December 8th. Like, we are literally a month away from these teams playing again. All right.
Now they get to buckle down and study.
Yes.
And have their finals. I mean, that's what's so beautiful about this setup.
Yes. Now it's all about the finals. Okay, let's talk NFL action, and we'll start with last night's game. Kansas City Chiefs losing to the Houston Texans 20-10. Patrick Mahomes was picked off 3 times in that game last night. McKenzie, he was also the leading rusher for the Chiefs with 59 rushing yards. The Texans' defense is for real. C.J. Stroud, I thought, played good enough to win. It's not like he was amazing, but he was good enough to win. But their defense is the reason why they're going to be competitive in any game they play. Defense travels. It doesn't matter how cold it is. I know people were concerned about, indoor team going outdoors to play in the cold weather.
They brought their hoodies.
This defense is legit, and I know I'm sitting here on a plus 700 ticket on the Texans to win the division, and maybe they need some help to do that. But, I mean, look at this schedule. Cardinals, Raiders, Chargers, and Colts to end the year.
Win.
I mean, are the Texans 12-5 to end the season?
Are they going to be 10.5-point favorites hosting the Colts with Mr. Leonard? Is he from Notre Dame?
Yes.
I was trying to remember where I remember him from.
He was Duke and then Notre Dame.
2 losers. 2 people out of the playoffs. It's all setting up for the Texans. First quarter, Mahomes is on one knee, looking at his right tackle, left tackle. Who was it that went out? But it looked really bad after that. Chiefs are done. 18% chance to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Worst fourth quarter in Patrick Mahomes' history. He had 9 straight incomplete passes, 2 of those picked. Although I thought they weren't real. It wasn't. He didn't play that bad. It was just the rest of the team being, imploding around him, including Andy Reid. What did you think of that 4th down call?
I would have just
didn't seem necessary on 4th and 2.
Well, even if you decide to go for it, just give the ball to Kareem Hunt. I don't know what that play call was, but just give it to Kareem Hunt instead. The Chiefs, as you mentioned, their chances to make the playoffs are certainly dwindling. Plus 390 up on FanDuel right now to make the playoffs. If the season ended today, they are the 10 seed. They are at 6-7. They do have the tiebreaker over the Dolphins, who are still alive for the playoffs, by the way. And then you have, obviously, teams ahead of them. The Colts, we feel like, are going to drop out. And so you're just wondering, will the Ravens fall behind the Kansas City Chiefs? And is there a team currently in the playoff picture right now? And it can't be the Texans, because the Texans now have the head-to-head win. But can the Chargers fall out? They're 8-4 right now. Does anybody else fall out? It feels
the Chiefs have the head-to-head, I think, next week versus the Chargers.
Yeah.
So, the Chiefs win out is a given if they think they're going to make it.
They have to win out.
They'll be 10-7. So, given that, I still think it's tough. I still think maybe the Chargers. They got to lose against the Eagles. If the Chargers beat the Eagles here tonight, it's donezo for the Chiefs.
Okay, so I actually have the playoff machine here in front of me. Okay,
turn it up.
So you want to run the simulation here? If the Chiefs win every one of their games,
yes.
So let's go. Week 16, Chiefs win. Week 17, Week 15, Chiefs win. Week 16, Week 17, Chiefs, and Week 18, Chiefs. Now this is without doing any other results. So I have the Chiefs now finishing the season at 10-7. And they still, I guess they still don't get into the playoffs. They need help. They can't just win out. So they are not in control. They need to, we got it. So let's do the Colts now. Colts next week, we want to start giving the Colts losses. They lose to the Seahawks. Week 16, we give the Colts a loss to the 49ers. Week 17, we give the Colts a loss to the Jaguars.
Yep.
And week 18, we give the Colts a loss to the Texans, right? And then we're going to give the Texans win against the Cardinals. We'll give the Texans a win against they play the Raiders after that, right? So we'll give the Texans the win against the Raiders. Let's go Texans, Chargers. Who are we giving that win to? It's in LA.
Texans.
We'll give it to the Texans.
They're gonna win the division.
And if right now, if that's the case, Jacksonville is the 7 seed. Well, we have to give Jacksonville results. So what does Jacksonville do? Jags next week play the Jets. They'll give them a win. Week 16, the Jags will take
at
on
Broncos. It's close. Let's say they lose that game.
Give the Broncos the win, okay? And then week 17, we'll go Jaguars. Where's
They
Jacksonville?
beat the Colts. We already gave them that win.
We already gave the Jags that win.
Yeah. And then week 18 versus the Titans. Let's say they clean that up. So that would give them the Jags the 3rd seed.
That would give the Jags the 3 seed. And why am I still seeing the Colts here at 11-6? Did I give the Colts a win? Oh, I'm sorry. I did. I gave the Colts a win against the 49ers. My bad. All right. So in this scenario, the Chiefs are the 7 seed at 10-7. So this is how it has to play out. This is the only way it plays out. The only way it plays out is if Houston and Jacksonville win out and the Colts lose out and the Chiefs win out. I mean, we just ran through the games. It kind of feels like it's doable, right?
Not if the Chargers win on Monday night.
Not if the Chargers win on Monday night. You're right.
It does seem improbable at that point.
Oh my goodness, I didn't even factor that in. I didn't even factor in tonight's game. If the Chargers win, they're the 7 seed. Wow. Man, the Chiefs are not making the playoffs.
They're like the 5th best team in the league. Look at the power ratings.
No, okay.
Where's
now
Sam Hoppin?
Now there is still a way, okay? The Cowboys would have to beat the Chargers in week 16. If the Cowboys beat the Chargers in week 16, no, because then if the Chargers beat the Broncos in week 18, then oh my
Broncos
goodness.
have to beat the Chargers in a meaningless game.
Well, it could be for the 1 seed, right?
Could be for the 1 seed, yeah.
It could be for the 1 seed. So that's bottom line is I think plus 360, plus 390, you need a lot more than that to bet the Kansas City Chiefs to make the playoffs. You need a lot more than that. It's minus 700 on the no.
You're going to do better betting them every game.
Well, yeah, of course. That's what you have to do. Just roll over the money line on every game. And then I guess just start betting.
If you were,
if you thought that was going to be happening.
So, what do you think? You think the Chiefs are not only not going to make the playoffs, but just like flawed, just like a bad team now?
Yeah.
They don't have any weapons. Travis Kelce pops it up in the air. I can't throw the ball and catch the ball myself.
Yeah, issues on the offensive line. They don't really. I mean, Kareem Hunt's a nice running back, but they don't have like an established top tier running game to take the pressure off Mahomes. Mahomes is playing great.
I was looking at their 2026 payroll. Goes Patrick Mahomes. He has like a $70 million cap hit. It's like a spike year. And then 4 offensive linemen. And then the next guy after Chris Jones on the defensive end, Noah Gray.
Wow.
Noah Gray at $7 million is the highest paid skill position player on the 2026 Chiefs.
They'll have to retool. They will have to retool.
Tyreek Hill, maybe?
Maybe. Elsewhere yesterday, the Rams with a blowout win over the Cardinals, 45-17. Matthew Stafford furthering his MVP resume.
Yep.
He is now a minus 160 favorite up on FanDuel to win the MVP. It is very cheap. It's very cheap. I would bet it right now. Packers, a 28-21 win over the Bears. Jordan Love is actually the 3rd favorite to win the MVP at 10-1. He has played, he had the 4 touchdown passes on Thanksgiving. He had 3 touchdown passes yesterday. Christian Watson is back and healthy. Packers are a dangerous team, Mackenzie.
The market loves them. They are now 2.5-point road favorites at Denver next week. Denver took care of business, so that's just a massive upgrade off of one performance. Jordan Love's quietly, is really top of the list on PFF and QBR.
Packers plus 440, second favorites to win the NFC behind the Los Angeles Rams right now. You mentioned the Broncos. They beat the Raiders 24-17. What was your take on Pete Carroll kicking the field goal there as time expired?
Didn't mind it.
Why? Was he trying to cover the spread and getting a moral victory, or did he really think that they could make a field goal and still have 1 second left on the clock to kick an onside kick?
Well, it's not more probable than getting a touchdown and then having 1 second on the clock, is it?
Just take a knee. The game is over. They got lucky. Think about the confluence of events that had to occur for the Broncos not to cover this game, and for the Raiders to cover, and for this game to go over. So with 16,
in Las Vegas, no less.
So with 16 seconds left, Tyler Lockett catches a pass from Kenny Pickett, right? And then after that, it was a penalty on the Broncos for, I guess, laying on the defensive player and not allowing him to get up right away.
Very shady thing to do. You're trying to keep the 10-point cover.
So they called the penalty, and so with 2 seconds left, Pete Carroll sends out Daniel Carlson for a 46-yard field goal as time expires. 24-17 the final score. Raiders cover the number, and the game goes over 40.5.
Sean McVay did the same thing against the 49ers, down 10, last play of the game, kicked a field goal to lose by 7. It was 7.5 in some spots in that Niners-Rams game a couple of years ago. Very similar situation. You're not improving your chance to win, but you're also not deproving your chance to win. Like, think about this. Like, in a basketball game, you're up 30. Last 15 seconds, what do? You hand them the ball, right? But what about with 2 minutes left? If you're down 30 or you're up 30, wouldn't the most, safest thing to do would be to not do anything? It's just not the nature of the sport. Like, do you think Jaden Daniels shouldn't have come back and played? That's what everybody's saying now. It's like, what is he going to do? Just not play for years and years because the team's not good?
Yeah, so there was 5 seconds left when the clock was stopped. So I guess he was hoping that if they make the field goal with a second left, he can still kick it off, and maybe there's a penalty on the recovery, and then you get a free play, and it's a Hail Mary. I don't know. Mac, just think about it.
The ball flies further off a kicker's foot quicker than through a quarterback's hand. That's math.
Just think about this. If you had the Broncos minus 7.5 or Broncos minus 8.
What about the
and if you had
good
the under,
people that had Raiders plus 7.5 that believed
that you get a penalty, the refs throw. How many times do we see the refs throw a penalty in that? It's a 10-point game. There's 5 seconds left. The ref really blew the whistle to stop
Let's be honest.
play?
The books were happy. Only the books were happy there.
Oh my goodness! And then I see people celebrating their Raiders cover. Oh wow, you were really on the right side of that one. Good cover there out of you. Well, speaking of being on the right side, history is always on our side, Mackenzie. Steelers not only cover, they win outright against the Ravens 27-22.
Bet the dog in this matchup.
Just bet the dog in this matchup. Just bet Tomlin as a dog in this matchup. My goodness, the Ravens are broken.
14-5-2. That's the Steelers as a dog with Mike Tomlin against the Ravens. And now they are the favorites, minus 170 to win the AFC North.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at their respective schedules, talk about schedules, I think the Steelers might win out in their games versus Miami, at Detroit. All right, that's tough. At Cleveland versus Baltimore, they might be reeling. Might have a new coach, might have an interim coach at that point. Versus the Ravens schedule, where they're at Cincy. That's a minus 2.5 line, so essentially a coin flip. Versus New England. Wheels are falling off maybe. At Green Bay, and then at Pittsburgh. Ravens could lose out. Have we seen the last win in the Ravens-Harbaugh era?
Maybe.
Bold take.
Lamar finally accounted for a touchdown. He actually threw for a touchdown and rushed for a touchdown in this game. Bad beat on a...
He's got to step up, Scott.
Yeah.
He's got to be better than this.
It's a bad beat that we had on Lamar Jackson combo under rushing and passing yards. He got it on the final pass of the game. The final pass of the game, he went over. And he got sacked on the next play. If that pass is incomplete or he gets sacked on the play before, we cash this number. But he did finish going over his combo rushing and passing yards. So a bitter defeat there. What was an easy cash for us, and I never want to like celebrate an injury is a reason why we cash a bet, but Daniel Jones goes under all numbers. Daniel Jones suffered. Whew, boy, I hate to talk about this. It is a torn Achilles, and Daniel Jones is done for the season. What's crazy is that this was the other leg. This wasn't the one where he had the fractured fibula. This was the other leg that he has been dealing with the injury with, and he suffers the torn Achilles. Jaguars beat the Colts 36-19. Now 10 straight wins for the Jags at home over the Colts.
The money line parlay, if you rolled it over year to year, you had like an escrow account, you're like, I only bet Jacksonville hosting the Colts. It's like $3,000 for every dollar you put in that account.
Wow.
After 10 straight wins, most of them as underdogs. Even this one, the market cares less about this trend. 2-point underdogs made no sense. We talked about it. I wish I would have bet it more, but easy winner.
The Saints with the 24-20 win over the Bucks. Tyler Shuck picking up the dub. And now all of a sudden, like, things get really, really interesting in that NFC South division where, I mean, dare I say, it's going to be the Panthers winning that division? Like, is that?
You believe?
Maybe.
Market is a little more skeptical. Bucks still minus 300.
Yeah.
Really not that much movement from minus 500 to minus 300. They have 2 games coming up.
Yep.
It's very, very doable for the Panthers.
It is it's all in front of them. It's very, very doable for them indeed. Dolphins blow out the Jets 34-10. Jets had those Gotham City uniforms. Meh. Then Brady Cook had to play in that game after Tyrod Taylor went down. So the Jets quarterback situation's an absolute mess. Vikings, a 31-0 win over the Commanders, Mackenzie. I mean, J.J. McCarthy bouncing back in a big way. 16 of 23, 163 yards. So he goes under passing yardage, but 3 touchdowns for J.J. McCarthy. Jaden Daniels injured his elbow in this game, and he leaves the game. Marcus Mariota comes in, immediately throws an interception. And there were a couple of moments where, I mean, Dan Quinn just hates points, right? First possession of the game, they get down to the goal line, and he goes for it on a 4th and goal. After an incomplete pass on it's 1st and goal at the 4-yard line. Handoff to Chris Rodriguez. They get to the 2-yard line. Incomplete pass from the 2-yard line. All right, now it's 3rd and goal. Incomplete pass on 3rd and goal. All right, now it's 4th and goal. Incomplete pass on 4th and goal. Okay, maybe you'd think to run a different play. I don't know. But then another spot later in the game, he also chooses to not take the points and winds up being a wasted possession there. Dan Quinn just doesn't like points and apparently doesn't like winning football games either.
Well, yeah, he doesn't like points. That's why he scored 0. That's if you're pointophobic. The most upgraded team next week, if you're looking at the look-ahead lines till now, is the Minnesota Vikings, from 7.5-point dogs at Dallas to now only 5.5-point dogs. I guess it's all I have to do with J.J. McCarthy. He's not a pumpkin. He's not as bad as a third-string, second-year quarterback like Max Brosmer. 75 QBR. I know he only threw for 160, but by far his best game, an efficient game, really for the first time in his career.
Yeah, and the second 4th down that I was talking about was to start the 3rd quarter, right? They're down 14-0, and he has an opportunity at the 19-yard line. Hey, kick a field goal. Get on the board, right? And no, it winds up being an interception thrown by Jaden Daniels. That was the play that he actually got hurt on. So 14-0 became 17-0, became 24-0, and eventually 31-0, the final.
So is Jaden Daniels done for the year?
No, because Dan Quinn said that he could have went back in the game if they needed him to. I mean, I don't know. Who knows? Let's talk about the other, some interesting results from yesterday. Titans with a 31-29 win over the Browns. I mean, Mackenzie, you need to apologize to Shedeur Sanders. 364 yards, 3 touchdowns, and an interception. He also ran for a touchdown. I mean, if that dude was on your fantasy team, he balled out yesterday.
He had been bad, and now this is evidence that he's maybe not terrible. Cam Ward has given us glimpses of not being terrible, but mostly terrible, including this game. 14 for 28, 1 for 17. But to have 3 starts, a win, and a 360-yard performance, I would probably have him leader in the clubhouse, unless it's Deshaun Watson next year to start for the Cleveland Browns, which they just announced that he will be on the team next year.
Yeah. So congratulations to the Titans getting their 2nd win of the season. The Bills come
congratulations? It's the toilet bowl for a reason.
I know.
Like, you're supposed to lose this game.
I guess congrats to the Giants. Congrats to the Giants, right? In contention for that number 1 overall pick. Bills come from behind and beat the Bengals 39-34. Listen, they don't
5.5-point favorites.
They don't call them snovers for no reason, Mackenzie. I know people see snow and they automatically want to bet the under in the game, but you know something? If it's not windy, the snow does not affect the total. In fact, like, defensive players slip all the time. We see these games go over. That's why they're called snovers. And we had another snover here with over 70 points scored in this game. Josh Allen played great. Josh Allen, 251 yards, 3 touchdowns. He also rushed for 78 yards and a touchdown. I mean, that was MVP Josh Allen last night. And I think he was kind of motivated by playing against Joe Burrow and also, like, having to play from behind. And, that also, I mean, another thing, right? That's Joe Burrow. Like, that's how important he is. Like, that Bengals team yesterday, yeah, the defense stinks, but, like, he's, like, give the guy the MVP award. Right? Like, it completely changes the dynamic of this team. The win on Thanksgiving against the Ravens, and now this performance here, yeah, they lost, but man, I mean, Joe Burrow makes this team, they're a completely different team with him and without him.
Are they the best team in the AFC? I mean, they just went to Buffalo and had a 10-point lead.
I know.
They could be up there. Josh Allen was down 11 points by the second possession he had when he had his first rush. Ended up with almost 80 yards at 96 QBR. 4th favorite now. After Jordan Love, who was 3rd favorite, Josh Allen for MVP.
And the Seahawks blow out the Falcons 37-9. This was a 6-6 football game at halftime. And the Seahawks scored 31 points in the second half.
Returned the opening kickoff for a touchdown, and it was on.
Yep. I don't know how much longer Raheem Morris is going to be a head coach in the NFL.
He beat the Bills. You have to hang your hat on that. He almost beat the Patriots. A lot of almost wins. The most unlucky team in the 4th quarter this year.
Yep.
But, maybe that's starting the avalanche that's coming.
Shout out to our Trench Report, which continues to dominate. The top 5 overall mismatches this week are off to a 4-0 straight-up start, with wins by the Broncos, Rams, Bills, and Steelers as underdogs, and the Philadelphia Eagles pending the 4th overall biggest mismatch of the week, pending tonight here against the Los Angeles Chargers. That brings our total since the start of Week 5 to 37-12 straight up, with 11 outright underdog winners. And now the closest matchups, the top 3 closest matchups, Texans won outright against the Chiefs. Falcons, no show against the Seahawks, although in the first half they did. And the Jaguars win outright against the Colts. So 2-1, straight up in ATS for the Dogs. That brings our closest matchup record, the top 3 closest matchups in the Trench Report. We started publishing that in week number 8. The underdogs are now 13-7-1 ATS with 8 outright wins by the Dogs. My goodness. And in the top 5 rushing mismatches of the week, Mackenzie, everyone went over. You could have done touchdown parlays and you would have cashed. ETN, RJ Harvey, Kyron Williams, Blake Corum. I mean, the only one that didn't score a touchdown was James Cook, but, I mean, Josh Allen scored the touchdown, right? So, I mean, everybody just went off. Trench Report dominant here in week number 14. Week 14 will conclude tonight with Monday Night Football as the Philadelphia Eagles take on the Chargers in L.A., and let's build us a same-game parlay courtesy of our friends over at the FanDuel Sportsbook. It's going to be a de facto home game here for the Eagles, Mackenzie. They'll have the building. A lot of fans will be there in attendance. The first place I would like to look for the same-game parlay, and the Eagles, by the way, 1.5-point favorites here on FanDuel, total of 41.5. But I gave the handicap kind of the teaser last week about the Kimani Vidal rushing props. Now, Omarion Hampton is going to play in this game for the Chargers. His total is at 43.5. Kimani Vidal is at 35.5. I still want to go over Kimani Vidal's rushing props. I think we're getting a discount here because of Hampton coming back. But if Hampton doesn't, I think they're going to split carries in this spot. And with Herbert and that hand injury likely limiting him from taking snaps under center, again, the numbers when carries when Herbert's under center and carries when he's in the shotgun, Kimani Vidal 61 carries under center, 51 carries in the shotgun, 3.7 yards per carry under center with Herbert under center, 5.3 yards per carry in the shotgun, yards after contact per attempt, 2.7 under center, 4.2 in the shotgun, and the double-digit yard runs, the 10-plus yard runs, 4 of them from under center, 13 of them in the shotgun. Now, if you're looking at Omari and Hampton, he is the same way. 3.2 yards per carry under center, 6.2 in the shotgun, 2 10-yard runs under center, 5 when Herbert's in the shotgun. If you can play like a team total, a team rushing prop total, I would play it here for the Chargers. Jalen Carter out for the Philadelphia Eagles impacts their defensive line. I think the Chargers are going to be able to run on Philadelphia. Leg number 1 for me, Kimani Vidal over 35.5 rushing yards.
Yeah, I like Vidal. I'm not sure Hampton's going to come in and be the starter, even though they're pricing it that way. Vidal averaging 60 for the season. They're really pricing him like he's going to get half the workload. He was a starter last week. I think he might get the majority here. And the Eagles' defensive line looked as vulnerable as they have in years versus the Bears. Maybe they'll patch it up somewhat, but maybe there's real problems there. I like that. And the trench report says we got to go the Eagles here, right? Which is anti-correlated to Vidal already.
I love it. So let's go Eagles minus 1.5. We're at plus 276 on the 2 legs on the same game parlay. And where else do you want to go?
So I was looking at some stats, and I'm not sure if this is bettable at all, but the tush push may be dead. That Texans offside. The Texans offside on Sunday Night Football was such a joke, and I think it was the refs making that call was them sending a message about the tush push. It's over.
Yeah. Okay. So what do you want to do with that?
The Eagles were 13 for 14 in their first tush pushes, short yardage, 3rd and 4th downs. They're 0 for 5 in their last 5. Maybe they try it less, and maybe that, I don't know, does that lead to less Jalen Hurts attempts, or is that something we can parlay?
So you want to go under you can't parlay the rushing attempts on the same game parlay.
All right, what about his yards, or where his yard is? It might not be a 30.5. It might not affect it that much.
Okay.
What do you think?
So, I mean, Saquon Barkley's at 70.5 for his rushing prop. He's just not running. He's just not.
Seems so high. He's averaging 60 on the season. 61.
Yeah, and Lane Johnson's out for the Philadelphia Eagles. We know how that affects them on the offensive line. I feel like we just got to go Saquon Barkley under.
Is that juicy enough though? It's going to go from plus 270 to what?
Plus 697.
Okay. So I guess that is really anti-correlated to the Eagles winning.
Yep.
So both our props are.
Yes.
But I think both those props hit.
I agree. So 3-leg base same game parlay. Chargers running back Kimani Vidal over 35.5 rushing yards. Saquon Barkley, Eagles running back, under 70.5 rushing yards. And the Philadelphia Eagles minus 1.5 in the game, plus 697 currently up on FanDuel. Is there one more leg, Mackenzie, as we always like to jack this thing up and sweeten the pot a bit?
I was just thinking it might be correlated. If they're doing less tush pushes, then they are less likely to run on 3rd and 6 because 4th and 1 is no longer a layup for them. So that might help our Saquon Barkley under there if they're running less on 3rd and 6.
Mm-hmm.
That also makes me think maybe they're just going to pass more. Has A.J. Brown complained recently enough to warrant an over? Because they seem to go to him when he describes his frustrations.
I don't know if he's complained enough.
It's too peaceful. All right.
Yeah, it might be a little too peaceful here.
62.5. It's I don't know.
How do we feel about Jalen Hurts combo passing and rushing yards over 222.5?
I like that.
His passing yardage is 188.5, and his rushing prop is 29.5. So, I mean, we're clearly getting taxed on this because 188 and 30 is only going to give us 218. So we're being taxed with the 222.5. But, I mean, in the event that he takes off and goes for a couple of long runs here.
Yeah, he has those nights where he runs for like 80. He's had a few even this season. And if Barkley's not running, that's one concern. It might be too correlated to get a good payout.
No, it brings it the 4 legs to plus 1147.
It nearly doubles it. All right.
So let's do it. Let's send it.
Let's do that.
Okay.
Send it.
All right. So our 4-leg same-game parlay, courtesy of the FanDuel Sportsbook for Monday Night Football tonight in L.A. Chargers running back Kamani Vidal over 35.5 rushing yards. Eagles running back Saquon Barkley under 70.5 rushing yards. Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts over 222.5 passing plus rushing yards. And the Philadelphia Eagles minus 1.5 in the game, plus 1147.
Eagles better not win by 1. If everything hits but the Eagles win by 1, come on.
I mean, all right, to be safe, if we take out minus 1.5 and we put money line, plus 1049.
If you're of that variety, if you like to live dangerously like us, lay it.
And the money line, at least you can get the push protection if it winds up being a tie in overtime, right? So there you go. That'll be 10 plus 1049 on that. All right, before we wrap it up, Mackenzie, we just have a 3-game slate in the NBA tonight. You got let's see. Do we have 3 games? I think we have more.
3 games.
Just 3 games, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Kings, Pacers, Suns, Timberwolves, and Spurs and the Pelicans. Any feel for any of these games coming up here tonight?
Yeah, the Timberwolves and Suns are an interesting strategic matchup. No one presses full court like the new vogue in the NBA more than the Suns with their new coach. And maybe no team is as vulnerable as the point guardless Timberwolves. So I see 2 plays. I think the Suns might keep it close. Maybe you take the plus 9.5. Or if you like the Timberwolves, just bet Anthony Edwards over because he's going to have a lot of straight lines to the basket against that pressure, and that might be their best option. So I would like Anthony Edwards over his points and the Suns. You're going to go 1-1. Maybe you go 2-0.
Okay, something to keep an eye on for tonight's short NBA slate. Don't forget, you guys can head to the website, betterday.com, become a Better Day Insider or Premium member. Premium members get access to all the live in-game bets, which went 3-1 yesterday, and also the live Q&A chats that will occur each and every Friday as we answer your questions, talk with about a variety of topics in the sports betting community. You can follow us on social media as well. Let's make today and every day a better day.
If you like the show, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe. It really does help the show to grow. Thank you for listening.